Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step of the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is Monday, December 11th, 2023. And good morning. Hello, my lovely souls. And welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks. And today we are embarking on a beautiful journey to explore the concept of inner strength and the pivotal role in our self-love journey. So we're going to dive in and we're going to discover the power that lies within us, of each one of us. And last week we talked about resilience. Yes, we talked very strong about it. And with resilience, we also find inner strength. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about defining inner strength. We're going to uncover your inner strength, recognize and overcome obstacles. We're going to find out what's the power of vulnerability. We're going to cultivate self-compassion and forgiveness. We're going to build a support network. I'm going to give you some tips on how to build a support network. And also, to give you some daily practices of strengthening your self-love, okay? All right, as well as embracing your imperfection and celebrating your strength, all right? So when we come back again, we're going to talk about defining your inner strength. All right, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love, and we'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more, by bridging the gap between them all. And we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by neon.com, Mike, as well as the BTG crew. You have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to axnyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you.
I often find myself feeling stuck in my life and like I'm not reaching my full potential. But with Elevate Me, self-discovery, I've been able to tap into my inner self and discover what I truly want out of life. Elevate Me, self-discovery is an incredible program that combines video learning, self-help, and amazing audio to guide you through a journey of self-discovery. From feeling freedom and guided meditation to self-love and empowerment, this program is perfect for anyone looking to unlock their full potential. Don't let life pass you by.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we are talking about embracing your inner strength, navigating the self-love journey. And before the break, I had said that we were going to kick it off and start it off with understanding, and defining what inner strength is. And so what I want to do is I want to start us off with the breathing exercise. I know we had started this last week, and I figure at least I can do something to, kind of add and contribute to your daily ritual, at least put it in your daily ritual. So let's do a little breathing exercise. So I don't know exactly where you are. If you are in a car, pull over if you have a little time, or even if you're at your office at your desk, put your feet flat on the ground, on the floor, get real comfortable, nice and flat, and let your hands rest on your lap. All right, after that, now take a deep breath through your nose and expanding your belly as you inhale. Count to 4 as you breathe so slowly in. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold. We're going to hold your breath for a moment. We're going to hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to exhale slowly through your mouth. Okay, we're going to do it again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to exhale out the mouth. Yes. Now we're going to do it again. And this time, when we inhale in, 4 to fill the belly through your nose. Then we're going to exhale slowly. And when we exhale, I'm going to count you down to 6, all right? We're going to hold for 3. And then we're going to exhale for 6. You ready? We're going to come in for 4. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1. Slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now I want you to put your fingers together, interlace them, and I want to stretch your arms toward the ceiling. Lengthen it. Yeah, just like that. Stretch it so you can open up your spine, open up your back. Lengthen your spine. Yeah. Take a deep breath in. Yes, feeling that gentle expansion in your chest, in your shoulders. And then I want you to exhale slowly. And then I want you to lower your arms to the side. When it gets shoulder length to the side, I just want you to stretch a little outward. Yes, just stretch. Put your hands, your fingertips in your hand out. Close it in and out. 1, 2, 3. Bring your hands back to your lap. All right, relax your shoulders. All right, now what I want you to do is to roll back 3 times. 1. Roll your shoulders back. 2, 3. As you're still breathing. Nice, deep, and slow breaths. Okay, we're going to roll the shoulders forward. 1, 2, 3. All right, now what I want you to do, I want you to take your head and I want you to turn it to the right. Now I want you to turn it to the left. Turn it back to the right. Now I want you to circle your head going back from the right to the left. Go forward, circle it. That's 1. Give me 3 circles. 2. 1 more. 3. Yes. Yes. All right, just a little deep one. That's it. And I want you to take 1 final deep breath in. And exhale out. Rotate your shoulders forward. Then backwards. All right, now I just want you to shake it out a little bit. Yes. All right. That felt good, huh? That did. That felt really good. All right, so we're going to start this with defining inner strength. And I know last week we talked about resilience. And it was a really great week that we had. And this week we're talking about the inner strength. And inner strength is our core of our resilience. It's the quiet power that sustains us through life ups and downs. And it encompasses our emotional, mental, and spiritual fortitude. So today we'll dive into what makes up this inner strength and why it's so crucial for us nurturing self-love. And with our inner strength, it refers to the resilience, courage, and emotional fortitude that individually possesses, and its ability to navigate through life challenges and setbacks with grace and determination. Inner strength is crucial in nurturing our self-love for several reasons. One is resilience. Our inner strength allows individuals to bounce back from difficult situations and setbacks, and it helps them to persevere during challenging times and maintain a positive outlook on life. Resilience enables individuals to overcome obstacles and learn from experience, and leading to personal growth and increase of self-love. And again, we talked about resilience last week and to persevere. And my prayer is that you're using those two now to help with your inner strength, as well as having self-confidence. Inner strength is closely linked to self-confidence. And when individuals have a strong sense of inner strength, they believe in their abilities and they trust themselves to handle whatever comes their way. So this self-assurance fosters positive self-images and cultivates self-love. But also another reason is for boundaries. Inner strength enables individuals to set and maintain healthy boundaries, and it empowers them to say no when necessary and prioritize their own well-being. So by setting boundaries, individuals establish self-respect and self-care with essential components of self-love. As well as that inner strength will help us with our emotional well-being. It aids in managing emotional effectively. It allows individuals to handle stress, anxiety, and negative emotions in a healthy manner. So inner strength promotes emotional well-being by encouraging self-reflection, self-compassion, self-care practices, and all which are fundamental to nurturing self-love. But also, with inner strength, it also refers to authenticity. Inner strength gives us individuals the courage to be true to ourselves and embrace the authentic selves. It allows them to, in us, to let go of society expectations and live what is aligned with us and with our values, our passions, and our dreams. And by embracing that authenticity, it fosters self-acceptance and self-love. So by cultivating inner strength, we develop the tools and mindset necessary to love ourselves unconditionally. And it provides a solid foundation for personal growth, resilience, and overall well-being. Nurturing our self-love becomes easier when we have a strong sense of inner self and we use it to navigate through life. Yeah, I got that. All right, next I want to talk about recognizing and overcoming our obstacles. And I want to speak on this in two different ways. First, I want to talk about some of the common obstacles that we can have to bolster with our inner strength and foster a deeper self-love and resilience. You know, sometimes we look at vulnerability as a being weakness, but it's not. It's a strength. It truly is a strength. We just did a show just this past week on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast about the paradox of a simp. And I think the week before we talked about the balancing of masculine and feminine energy, and how that society makes it feels like that we should have either one or the other, when actually we should have a balance of them both. And that that our empathy and our compassion sometimes can look as vulnerability, but it's not. It's a strength. It's a strength to be able to care for someone. It's a strength to be able to share things that are happening with you, and not to seek help, but to seek understanding. To seek understanding. All right, so here are some common obstacles that we may encounter alone, but also I have strategies to overcome them by tapping into your inner strength. And number one is fear. Fear can hold you back from pursuing our goals and dreams. And to overcome these fears, we need to acknowledge it first. and we need to face it head on. We need to embrace the discomfort and take small steps towards your goals and gradually building confidence in your abilities. And also remind yourself of past success and focus on potential rewards rather than the potential risk. And for me, this is something that I stay dear to when I say this. And I'm not talking about the fears, but how I overcome the fear. I just remember of everything that I've accomplished and everything that I've been through. And even right before I decide to do something. And remember what I said a couple of weeks ago about standing with those keys in my hand at that door or opportunity or potential or success. And I'm standing there afraid. And then I have to realize, look how far you've come. Look at all those other doors that you just opened. That you've opened and you walked through. And that's what got you to this door. So when you look at fear like that, then that will help you get through it. Also with self-doubt. Self-doubt can undermine our beliefs in ourselves and our abilities. Counter self-doubt by practicing self-compassion and positive self-talk. Challenge negative thoughts and replace them with positive affirmation. And surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and your abilities. Again, last week we talked about doing a journal on negative thoughts. And find out what triggers it. That would definitely help to lessen the negative thoughts that come in your mind. Because now there's an understanding of where they come from. Then where they come from, then now you can, pay attention to that and fix it. Past failures. Previous past failures, they can make us doubt our capacity for success. But instead of dwelling on past failures, reframe them as a learning experience and opportunities for growth. Focus on the lessons learned and the progress made, and use past failures as motivations to keep trying and persevere towards your goals. External negativity. Negativity comments or criticism from others can be discouraging. So develop a strong sense of self-worth and belief in your abilities. Surround yourself with positive influences, supportive individuals who uplift and encourage you. And I want you always to remember that you have the power to control how you perceive and respond to external negativity. Overwhelm. A feeling of overwhelmed can drain our energy and motivation. It can break tasks down. If you break tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps, prioritize and focus on one task at a time, practice self-care activities such as meditation, exercise, and engaging in hobbies to recharge your energy. Also, seek support from friends, family, and professionals when needed. And comparison. Comparing yourself to others can diminish self-esteem and confidence. Remember that everyone's journey is unique, so focus on your own progress and celebrate your accomplishments. No matter how small, embrace your self-acceptance, gratitude in who you are and what you have achieved. So remember, building your inner self strength takes time and practice. So be patient with yourself and celebrate each step forward. By tapping into your inner strength, you can overcome some of these obstacles and unlock your true potential. So how can individuals refrain from their past failures and learn from their experience? First, let's analyze. Let's analyze what the failure is. Take the time to reflect on what went wrong in the past and identify the factors that contribute to the failure. This could be examining your actions, your decisions, or circumstances. And by understanding the reason behind the failure, you can gain valuable insights into what needs to be done differently in the future. From that, then embrace the growth mindset. Adopting a growth mindset means recognizing the failures that are not permanent setbacks, but they are opportunities for growth and improvement. Believe that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, and embrace those challenges and see them as chances to learn the progress. Focus on the lessons that are learned. Instead of dwelling on negative aspects of your failure, focus on the lessons that you've learned from it. What skills? What knowledge? What insight have you gained? By shifting a perspective to focus on positive takeaways, you can find motivation and you can move forward. Set realistic expectations, understanding that failure is a natural part of the learning process. Set realistic expectations for yourself and acknowledge the setbacks. They are inevitable. Recognize the failure do not define your worth or your potential. It is merely a stepping stone towards success. And I think I was last week when I said life is just a big old test. It's a big ass practice. So we practice it because we don't know nothing for sure. So everything we are trying new things, we are practicing. We are going through these different tests. Some we pass, some we don't. Some we come back and do over again and pass. But the object is just taking the things that we learn from the choices and decisions that we made that didn't come out so well before. What are those lessons that I need to learn from there? Also, use those failures as motivation. Use the memory of past failures to fuel your motivation. Let it remind you of how far you've come and how much you want to achieve on your goals. And remember that many successful individuals has experienced failure along their journey. And it's often through perseverance that they ultimately succeed. And always seek support. Always seek support. Surround yourself with a supportive network of friends, mentors, or coaches who can offer guidance, encouragement, and accountability. It's great to have people who believe in you and your abilities that surround you, that can give you the necessary boost to bounce back from your failure. And I'm not talking about validation, because sometimes we get into that space where sometimes we need that, girl, you got that. Oh boy, you got that. You doing that. Sometimes we need that. Because as I said before, and what is always said, is that we are our biggest critics. We are harder on ourselves than we are on anyone else. And so sometimes we need that outside voice outside of us to say, you got this. You can do this. Y'all understand what I'm saying? All right, so what I want to do, I want to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. And then we're going to talk about the power of vulnerability in cultivating compassion and forgiveness, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Dog Pound Mike from Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Come check us out every week. And remember, I'm no relationship expert. I just tell it like I hear it from the kennel. Get back at it.
Hey there, my sexy people. Are you ready for an exciting new series on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast? Well, introducing Ask Nyomi Mondays, Ask Nyomi Letters, where I read heartfelt letters filled with love, sex, and relationship advice every Monday. If you're facing a relationship dilemma, longing for guidance, and simply curious about others' experience, this is for you. Just shoot us an email at asknyomi@gmail.com to be a part of the conversation. Join us as we bridge the gap between curiosity and clarity, uncertainty and confidence. But get ready to explore the beautiful complexities of love and relationships. So listen to Ask Nyomi Mondays, Ask Nyomi Letters, and let's dive into these thought-provoking letters together. Don't miss a single episode. All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And we're talking about embracing your inner strength and navigating the self-love journey. So during the break, I realized I was looking at my outline, and I said, wait a minute. In that last segment, I just kind of flip-flopped some stuff, right? I flip-flopped it. I don't even understand what I did. So in the beginning, before the break, what I was talking about, I wasn't talking about the power of vulnerability. What I was talking about is recognizing and overcoming the obstacles of it. So you know that we do face barriers in developing our inner strength and self-love. So what I was doing is I was giving you the common obstacles that we have in discussing the oh my goodness, strategies. Strategies. I'm going to say that one more time. Strategies to overcome them. All right. And so that is what we talked about in the first segment. We talked about defining the inner strength as well as recognizing and overcoming the obstacle. And right now we're going to talk about the power of vulnerability. And we're going to talk about how opening up ourselves up can actually bolster the inner strength and foster deeper sense of self-love and resilience. That is what we're going to do now. So what we talked about before, we talked about recognizing and overcoming the obstacles with the common things that we usually with the fear, and how can we overcome the fear in that instance. So I'm just like, oh my God, I spent 20 minutes talking about one thing but saying that it's another. So you see how I just learned from there. Put on your glasses, girl. Put on your glasses, because you were reading that wrong. Having one thing, opening it up, and speaking on another. All right, so this is about opening up yourself. All right, opening up yourself is a powerful way to strengthen our inner resilience and cultivate self-love. And I have some ways here in which opening up can foster a deeper self-love and resilience for us and for your self-love journey. First of all, we talked about vulnerability. We talked about how vulnerability is not a weakness, but it's a strength. And by opening up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you create an opportunity for authentic connection with others. Sharing your thoughts and feelings and experience with trusted individuals can help you feel seen and understand, and which can boost your self-esteem and reinforce your sense of worth. And I got so tongue-tied because I thought I was going to say authentic conversation, because that's something that we talk about all the time. It's about having this authentic conversation, you know, that I can share, and some of my lessons that I've learned throughout the years, because I've lived a very amazing life. I'm going to say this, a very amazing life. Both people would think very challenging and bad and great and good. I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm looking forward to accomplish a lot more. Just now in these past few years, I've learned so much more about myself as who I am, as a human being, as a person with a spiritual soul, and understand that I'm able to live authentically outside of the box that society wants to put me in. And so me being vulnerable, even on a platform like this, is an amazing strength that I tell myself that you have every day. And I have to tell myself that you are a living, walking woman of courage and of strength. It's because you could have easily just laid down and went in the shadows and not said a word of anything. But you're using your platform that was given to you for something of good, of a purpose. And I'm speaking to myself when I say this, and I admire you because I see your growth. My next one is emotional awareness. It's open up and encourage us to be more aware of our emotional needs. This selflessness is essential for building in self-love, and it allows us to identify and address areas that require attention. And it also helps us develop better understanding of our boundaries and limits. So when you just heard me do that whole spiel, and me talking to you, but in a sense talking about my growth and what I've seen of myself, and how I am sharing my vulnerability, but also recognizing not only my mental and physical, but also my emotional growth. And for me to be able to do that is because I have the awareness of myself emotionally. And seeking support, when we open up ourselves up, We give ourselves permission to seek support from others. This can involve reaching out to friends, families, therapists, or support groups who can provide guidance, empathy, and perspective during challenging times. Like I said, I've been blessed to have my family, my immediate family, that's been very supportive with me. And I've had some of them, my aunts and, that's been very supportive, of me as well. And some very dear friends, that we have been support system for each other through these challenging times when we just we was so unsure on what our next move was, Also practicing self-compassion, opening up and allowing us to practice self-compassion by treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. And when we share our struggles and vulnerabilities, we can learn to respond to ourselves in a compassionate way, and we acknowledge that we are human and that the failure and setbacks are a natural part of our life. And also celebrating your strengths. I just did that, opening up and providing the opportunity to celebrate our strength and accomplishment. Sharing our achievement and positive experience with others can reinforce our beliefs and our abilities and build a stronger sense of self-worth. And just reading that right now and speaking that right now, something said you need to celebrate it more often. And even though I celebrated with you all here on this podcast, rarely do I do it on my social media page in anything. And I need to show that. And why I need to show that, what it is for me, it shows the humility. And let me tell you how. It's because you're talking about a woman, a woman who was a part of an industry that is being shunned and looked down on in so many different ways. But through all of that, this woman is able to still hold her head up high and walk with her chest poked out wide and able to walk and allow her light to shine. And me allowing to celebrate some of my little goals. And that can be just, for instance, today. Today is my 7th day on this parasite cleanse. And I had some hard days. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those were some challenging days. But I commend myself that I didn't go get a piece of bread, that I didn't go eat any meat. You know what I'm saying? That I stayed strong. I'm staying strong. Headaches, everything just come and just move it. And I was like, okay, we got to get through this. We understand. We know what our why is. We know why we are doing this. And every day I'm going to celebrate that I got through that day of challenge. So you might hear me say tomorrow, yeah, we about to celebrate this 8th day. I can't do nothing but drink some warm lemon water, but we going to celebrate. And in growth and learning, opening up ourselves to new experience, perspectives, and feedback provides opportunity for growth and learning. My brain, still at the tender age of 51, is still a sponge of learning. I love to learn. I love to do my research. I love to watch documentary. Oh my God. I love doing research. Just yesterday, I had woke up and the first thing I did was I opened up my phone. And the first pop-up that came up was Lil Duval's post on Instagram, and he posted the top 50 podcasts of 2023. And I was looking through them. I was looking through the top 50. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's your goal. That is your goal to set for 2024, is to be the top 50. In that top 50 for the year of 2024, the top 50 podcasts in the country. And so the blessing is that I have 2 ways. I have Ask Now and Bridging the Gap podcast, and I have right here the Season of Self-Love. But what I did see is that I didn't see a lot of black people. Let me be real. I didn't see a lot of black people. I'm about to say people of color, but I did see a few people of color. that was there, but I didn't. I didn't see anybody who was speaking or saying the things that I do, even though some of the podcasts I do listen to. But then when I was reading the comments and people was like, well, why are they so, why didn't we see any, this person, this podcast. And it was like the numbers. And I know this is a great podcast. I know both of them are. And so I know what I need to do. I need to put this out there. I need to spread the word. I need for you all to spread the word, to share it and say, go listen to that Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap, or better yet, she on every day. Talking about self-love. Giving us some tools, giving us some gems, as one of my good girlfriends say. Dropping them gems, as she say. All right, so our next segment we're going to talk about cultivating self-compassion and forgiveness. Self-compassion and forgiveness are key to nurturing our inner self. And we talk about practical ways to cultivate these qualities in our daily life and enhancing our journey towards self-love. And why are we talking about self-compassion and forgiveness? Because sometimes when we don't forgive ourselves, it can stop our growth. It can stop our journey. It can stop our path of healing. It doesn't matter if you was to sit in front of a therapist for an hour to 30 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week. But if you don't have that self-compassion and that forgiveness for yourself, then that's just a waste of money. That's just a waste of time. So when you do go and you sit with that therapist, that you have your own tools of doing it, but also including with their tools that they're going to give you. So I'm going to give you a few practical ways that you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. And this is cultivating self-compassion and forgiveness for yourself, okay? Practice self-kindness. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would show to your friend. So when you make that mistake or faced with a challenge, offer yourself words of encouragement and support instead of harsh self-judgment. Me, I'll be like, girl, come over here. Let me talk to you. Like, I have conversations with myself. And they be some good-ass conversations. And when I say when I check myself, check for me. When I check myself, I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a growth thing. I look at it as taking accountability for things. And when I say take accountability, I don't want you to look at it as a negative. I want you to look at it as a positive. Because now you are acknowledging certain things. And now you would adjust it. Nope, I'm not going to do that because that show coming up soon. Challenge your inner critic. Notice any negative self-talk or self-critical thoughts that arise throughout your day. So remember, go back to that negative thought practice that we talked about last week. When that come up, like, why did that come up? Grab that piece of paper or pen and write it down. Or even if you have your phone in your hand, tap it in your notes on your phone. Say, where'd that come from? Why are you thinking that way? Okay, all right. Now, when you catch yourself engaging in that subject, then gently challenge those thoughts with replacing them with more compassionate, realistic self-statements. For example, if you make a mistake, remind yourself that it's okay to be imperfect and that making mistake is a part of a learning and growing. So I like, okay, this happened. Okay, so, and I giggle, I laugh, like, okay, so what am I supposed to learn from this? Because there's a lesson that I'm supposed to learn from this. So what is it? And then I'd be like, I sit back and I look at it. I kind of, dissect it through my mind and my brain. And oh, that's what it is. And then I will start cracking up. And then I say, girl, you do that. And then I go on. Practice mindfulness. Set aside your time each day for a mindful meditation or simply tuning into the present moment. This can help you cultivate self-compassion by allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness can also help you to recognize and acknowledge any self-critical patterns that may arise and giving you opportunity to respond to yourself with compassion. You know, sometimes I do. I have a space. I go into my Golden Rose room and I sit in front of the mirror. And I don't think about what's for tomorrow, and I don't think about what's going on yesterday's. I stay in the moment for today. And I ask myself, how do you feel today, right now? Like, what are you feeling in this moment right now? Let's not think about what happened yesterday. Let's not think about what you think or what you want to happen tomorrow. In this moment. Look outside your window. What it look like outside your window? Look to your right. What it look like outside that window to your right? Describe what's going on right there in that moment. And as you're looking out there and you're describing everything that's going on in that moment, then you said, thank you. Because I've had vision to see. So in this moment, I'm sitting in gratitude. Sometimes I pick up a book and just read it, if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. That's what I do to remind myself, because I can get overwhelmed. I will think about the past failures and how I can implement those mistakes that I did, take those out to implement what I've learned through that mistake over here. And it gets very overwhelming where I'm constantly in work mode. And so I have to okay, stop. Walk away. Go in that room. Because it's so peaceful in that room. And why I sit in the mirror? Because I need to look at that reflection of myself. Maybe because I have to acknowledge what's happening in this moment. And see, and this is a word that me and my reflection in me that we're going through, and nobody else. So what better person to sit there and sit in front of but yourself in the mirror, to where you can look yourself in the eye and you can speak to you with your truth, if that makes sense. And practice forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and others is a very important aspect of self-compassion. Reflect on any grudges or resentment you may be holding on to and consider the possibility of forgiveness. Remember that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the actions of others or forgetting past hurt, but rather releasing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. And I know it's hard. That's a daily, that itself is a daily shit of every minute of the hour type of thing, because sometimes those thoughts of those people who've done you wrong come in to play, but also those things that you've done to yourself come into play. And that's why you gotta be like, hold on, did I know better? What was the circumstances? But you're not perfect. We're not perfect. And always seek support. Always surround yourself with supportive people who can offer you empathy and understanding. Always. That you can share your struggles and challenges with trusted friends, family members, or therapists who can provide guidance, perspective, and a bit of that validation that we all need. Yep, a bit of that validation that we all need. All right, and let's talk about How can we build? Naomi, how can I build me a support system? What's some tips that you can give me? Well, first, let's start off building a supportive network and fostering inner strength and self-love that go hand in hand. And here are some tips that you can be able to achieve both of them. Seek out like-minded individuals. Yes. Seek out like-minded individuals. Look for people who share similar values, interests, and goals, and connect with them through social media, local groups, or community events. And that's one positive thing about social media, because you can find people of support all across the world. You understand? You just have to be very aware and conscious of them. But my prayer is that everybody come in with good intentions. Share your story. Open up to trusted friends and family members or support groups about your experience and struggles. Join a support group. Consider joining support groups or therapy groups that focus on personal growth, self-love, and empowerment. Engage in self-care activities. Engaging in activities that promote self-care can build inner strength and foster self-love. And take time to do things that you enjoy, such as practicing mindfulness, exercising, journaling, taking baths, or pursuing a hobby. And the last one is seek professional help if needed. If you are struggling with building inner strength and self-love on your own, don't hesitate to seek help from a therapist or a counselor or a coach or a life coach that can provide you with guidance, support, and tools that can help you to navigate on your journey towards self-love and resilience. All right. We got to move this along really, really fast. I didn't know I was doing a lot of talking. And we coming up on the hour here. And so now I'm going to give you 3 daily practice strengthening things for your self-love. Actionable tips and exercise that you can integrate into your self-love practice on a daily routine. We'll cover. I'm just going to do 3. First, practice daily affirmations. This is something that I tell you all the time. Start your day off by repeating positive affirmations about yourself. This can be done in front of a mirror, or written down in a journal. Example of affirmations include what? I am worthy of love and happiness. I am enough just as I am. I deserve to take care of myself. And by intentionally acknowledging and reinforcing positive beliefs about yourself, you can cultivate self-love and boost your self-esteem. And there's another one that I talked about is doing the affirmation using your chakras. That's a show that is coming up in the near future that I want to break down on affirmations and how to do them using different forms of your chakra and energy. All right, setting boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries is crucial for self-love. Identifying the areas in your life where you feel overwhelmed or drained by others' demand or expectations in your own. We did a whole show about this. There was supposed to have been boundaries for others, but I had found out in real time about setting boundaries for myself. So sometimes practice saying no to others and yourself, which no longer align with your needs. Engage in self-care rituals. Incorporate regular self-care activities into your daily routine. Before when we started the show, I did a breathing exercise just so I can, put my little contribution into your daily ritual. So even beyond me, go somewhere and you say, okay, during my lunch break, before I go back to work, I'm going to do me a breathing exercise. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But I just want you to remember that self-love is a daily practice, and these tips and exercises can help you to integrate into your routine. Start small and then gradually incorporate them into your daily life. Consistency is the key. I can't express that enough. And the last thing that I want to talk about before we end this show is embracing your imperfection and celebrating your strength. Embracing our imperfections and celebrating our unique strengths are very vital steps into boosting our self-love. And we're going to explore how to shift our mindsets towards self-acceptance and celebration of our individuality. Shifting our mindset towards a self-acceptance and celebrating our individuality is a very powerful journey in self-discovery of growth. I got a few strategies that will help you to cultivate that mindset of self-acceptance. Practice self-compassion. We talked about that earlier, and we will continue to talk about this every day. Treat yourself with kindness and understand, just as you would treat a dear friend. Recognize that everyone has flaws and imperfections, and it's okay to make mistakes. As I say, it's okay to make choices. Don't be afraid to make the choice and just learn from the lessons that are learned within that choice. Challenge negative self-talk. Become aware of your inner critic and challenge negative thoughts and beliefs about yourself and replace self-limiting statements with positive affirmations that acknowledge your strength and unique qualities. Celebrate your achievements. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments. No matter how small they are or they may seem, recognize the progress you made. Surround yourself with positive people. Embrace your self-care and focus on strength and passion. Identify your strength, your talents, and your passion, and channel your energy towards developing and expressing them. Embracing your uniqueness and pursuing what brings you joy can boost self-acceptance and celebrate your individuality. So remember, self-acceptance is an ongoing process. So I want you to be very patient and gentle with yourself as you navigate and journey through and embrace it. All right, y'all, we have coming up. It came up really, really fast, and I know I probably skipped over quite a few things because I did have a, because sometimes, let me say this real fast. Sometimes we do get very busy. We get very busy in a day, and we sometimes do not make self-care a priority for us, and we have to. It's beneficial for our lives. It really is. And it will help with the brokenness that we have. I promise you it will. Like I said before, if you taking lunch, take 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your lunch break and take in that moment, that 10 minutes, and do some mindful meditation or do breathing exercise or do something. Schedule it. Start small, just like I just said. Multitask mindfully. Look for opportunity to combine self-care with your existing commitments. For example, if you have a long commute, listen to uplifting podcasts or audiobooks that inspire you. And if you're spending time with your family, engage in activity that brings you joy and relaxation. And don't forget to set boundaries. Say no. I don't mean walking around the house and just say no. Just be singing no when people ask you something. But just make acknowledgement of that. You know? And practice self-care in micro moments. Self-care doesn't always have to be a lengthy activity. Look for opportunity to infuse self-care in your daily routine, even if it's in short bursts. For example, take a few minutes to stretch or practice mindfulness during your work break. Remember when I said I go into my golden rose roof sometimes and I look in the mirror, then I look to my right and I look out the window? And I be in that moment there and I describe everything that's happening in that moment, whether it's birds or a squirrel or whatever's happening. And then in that moment, I speak words of gratitude because I'm able to see and hear. And it's a blessing that I am healthy to be able to do that. All right, again, I thank you all. We're wrapping up this show. I thank you all for just sitting with me and sharing this space with me here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we talked about embracing your inner strength and navigating the self-love journey. Yeah. Again, I just want to say thank you. As we are rounding off ending this year, we have a few more weeks of ending the year of 2023, and I am truly excited for the year of 2024. I've had some amazing accomplishments that has happened personally in 2023 that has truly given me a new outlook on life. And I will share some of those things with you all coming in a new year, as next year will be definitely about our motto about dominating, the year of domination in the year of 2024, that we will definitely be stepping up a level in everything that I do here. And my prayer is that you are able to do as well. But again, I want to thank you just for sharing this space with me, and just tuning in every day. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. So feel free to contact me on social media, on the Season of Self-Love podcast, on Instagram, as well as you can, hit me up on Ask Nyomi as well too, and share this episode with someone who might need it. Let's spread the message of self-love and inner strength. And until next time, I want you to keep embracing the beautiful strength within you. And have a good Monday. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Send a light, love, and prayers.